Representative Ilhan Omar was elected in 2018 as one of the first of two Muslim women ever elected to Congress. And as a Somali refugee, she has been critical of Israel and U.S.-Israeli policy. But this whole controversy really began over a tweet. Representative Ilhan Omar had tweeted, "It's all about the Benjamin's baby," in relation to support for Israel among American politicians. What she was saying is that there's a big lobbying effort behind Israel and Israeli policy, but what others heard was an anti-Semitic stereotype around Jewish people and money. Republicans were quick in their condemnation.
The language they are using is wrong.
And the pile-on continued from within her own party as well.
Her remarks were reprehensible.
Democrats, including Speaker Nancy Pelosi, demanded an apology, and Representative Omar was quick to give that apology. And all seemed to be fine until another comment made by Representative Omar at a panel discussion where she suggested that some politicians had an allegiance to a foreign country. And there was another outburst of outrage.
When a colleague invokes classic anti-Semitic lies 3 times, then this body must condemn that anti-Semitism.
From the first day of Donald Trump's candidacy, he made comments that many people found to be xenophobic. And so Democrats have tried really hard to keep a moral high ground. And so when one of their members does something that can even be perceived as sexist or racist or anti-Semitic, they're going to be quick to condemn it. They're going to be quick to separate themselves so that they can keep the spotlight on President Trump and the Republicans. And so they wanted their party, they wanted Speaker Pelosi to offer a resolution on the House floor condemning anti-Semitism. But this time, many of the progressives, the younger generation in the Democratic Party, particularly led by Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who counts Representative Omar as among
what's going on.
The president said that you should resign and the vice president said you should be held accountable for your views. Can you respond to that?
No, thank you.
There's something going on and it's bad.
This morning you said the president trafficked.
What is wrong with you?
Question about your tweet. You had a tweet saying the president trafficked in hate.
Yes, I tweeted. There's a response. You can run that and have a nice day.
Bomb. We have to find out what's going on.
If I could respond to that.
It wasn't a question.
On
February, that was not a question. I reserve the right to my time.
It is not right.
That was not a question.
Committee can attack
on February 8th,
who is not permitted to reply.
That was not a question. Thank you for your participation.
What the hell is going on?
الحكم على المدان صدام حسين المجيد بالإعدام شبها حتى الموت.
When you oppress people, the people rise up, increase and progress, and that's what's happening in the United States. It's becoming increasingly difficult to control the political drama. Ilhan Omar is roaring, raising Trump's eyebrows. MSM is barking. One thing for sure, she's winning friends across the world and the United States of America.
One other thing I might want to say is that anti-Semitism has no place in the United States Congress. And Congressman Omar is terrible what she said. And I think she should either resign from Congress or she should certainly resign from the House Foreign Affairs Committee.
Because we're going to Washington,
Congresswoman Ilhan Omar is one of the first Muslim women to serve in Congress. She's created a splash in Washington since joining Congress in January. She's being targeted by the Zio Pig lobby as an anti-Semite over a tweet. The alleged tweet, apparently being anti-Semitic, dates back to 2012. With a tweet when she wrote, "Israel has hypnotized the world. May Allah awaken the people and help them to see the evil doings of Israel." I personally endorse the tweet. I feel there's many who are waking up to the lies of the deceptive, shambolic, rogue state of Israel, and this should continue. The Ziopig lobby is going mental over Ilhan. However, they were silent when Ilhan tweeted about Saudi Arabia. Ilhan wrote, "The Saudi government might have been strategic at covering up the daily atrocities carried out against minorities, women activists, and even the Yemen genocide. But the murder of Jamal Khashoggi should be the last evil act they're allowed to commit." Notice the hashtag BDS hinting on boycotting Saudi Arabia.
We believe that together we can organize around the politics of hope and make sure that not only do we have the America we believed in, but the America we deserve.
Following Miss Omar's tweet about Saudi Arabia, Gulf trolls started to use threats, racism, and bigotry to target her. Things they are best known for, apart from the oil, of course. The American political system is so reliant on money that there are always questions about the extent to which it influences politicians. Federal elections record available on the Center for Responsive Politics, Open Secrets website, suggests a link between pro-Israel and Saudi lobby campaign contributions and various politicians' position on the Ilhan Omar.
Matching funds for campaign finance purposes. Fixing parts of the Voting Rights Act. And this was supposed to be a big sort of rollout for the Democrats. However, and they were going to hammer Mitch McConnell for not bringing it up in the Senate. However, they seem to have shot themselves in the foot at the beginning of the week in response to, ironically, in many respects, what was SR 1, Senate Resolution 1, which was to create a federal codification for the laws that exist in 27 states around the country. And this is going to come as a shock, I think, to a lot of people. Senate Resolution 1 was going to codify the fact that in 27 states across the country, you, as a private contractor, as a small company, in Texas, it was someone who does speech pathology for public schools, needed to sign a pledge in order to get employment from state programs that you would not participate in a protest against the state of Israel. This sounds bizarre to people. It is bizarre. It is fundamentally anti-democratic and contrary to the First Amendment. It is yet to be challenged, I think. I don't know if it will be. But and in response to that, Democratic Representative Ilhan Omar had a couple of things to say over the course of a couple of weeks, but one of which was, I should not be forced to pledge allegiance to another country, which was then interpreted, and frankly, I think disingenuously, as her saying that Jews had dual allegiances to two different countries, which is also a bizarre leap to take. But she is a rising star in the Democratic Party. She is a Muslim woman of color, and she has taken on the foreign policy establishment in this country by criticizing the incredibly odious Elliott Abrams. And so she was under siege, certainly by Republicans, but then by the Democratic leadership. I mean, this is so disturbing in a multitude of ways that it is shocking to see the Democrats shoot themselves in the foot this way. You take it from here for a moment, because it is so appalling in a myriad of ways, and reflective of the problem that she was talking about in the first part. And it politically, it's devastating, it seems.
Well, I think so too, and I'm not quite sure. I honestly don't understand it. I mean, I really find this very bizarre. Now, I guess if you take it down to just simply, I mean, what Omar, and I mean, this part can't be left out. her main criticism, and she was criticizing that particular, that ridiculous, passage of that Senate bill codifying the, the assault on free speech, in my view, of 27 states. And it is absurd, as you point out. And I hadn't known that until recently. I mean, I was shocked. And I think most people would be shocked, if they knew. And when they find out, they're going, what? What's that about? We don't do that here. But we do. But what Omar's real critique has been from the beginning is